All right, this is my review of A Walk in the Woods by Bill Bryson. I was looking forward to reading this book. I had it lying around. As far as my knowledge is concerned, I think this is the most famous book that deals with the Appalachian Trail. I've read a few books about the Appalachian Trail. Some of them were part memoir, part informational, some were entirely informational. This one is, I'd say, probably three-quarters, I'd say memoir, autobiographical, about Bill Bryson's attempt to walk the Appalachian Trail, and then the remainder talks about mainly the history of the trail. They talk about Benton MacKaye and how he spearheaded the creation of the Appalachian Trail, how it's unique because it's one of the oldest, I guess you'd say, transnational trail. When it was created, it was the largest trail in the country. That all ended when they created the Pacific Crest Trail and the Continental Divide Trail. But anyways, so yeah, the history part is interesting because there's a lot of philosophy intertwined with the creation of the trail. It was designed for a getaway from city life. I guess it had a flair of romantic transcendentalism. It's kind of a wordy way of putting it, but yeah, romantic transcendentalism was the underlying tone when they were forming the trail, trying to acquire land, and a lot of the infrastructure that went into putting the trail. But anyways, so yeah, the history part was pretty good. Bill Bryson himself, he did not walk the whole thing. Like most people, he started in the southern end at Springer Mountain. He only made it to Tennessee, and then him and the guy that he was hiking with, they decided to cut out a large swath of it and then started back in Virginia. They started up north to Virginia, and they hiked some more, and then they quit after a while. And then later they did other bits of it piecemeal. The end of the book, they do a little bit of hiking in Maine. And they don't make it to the northern terminus, Mount Katahdin. But, so anyways, and they talk a lot about the trail itself, which I think kind of is interesting. There is a part of the book they talk about the trail in Pennsylvania, which I thought was kind of nice because I'm from Pennsylvania, the western side. The trail is on the eastern side, so it's still quite a ways, but nonetheless, I'm from Pennsylvania, and I've hiked part of it in Caledonia State Forest and, what do they call it, Furnace Park. And they do mention that the AP in Pennsylvania is brutal just because the rock is really craggy, a lot of sharp rocks, which that's definitely true. I noticed that when I walked. And they say that it doesn't have a lot of good vistas, a lot of, breathtaking scenery. I don't know what most of the Appalachian Trail is like, but, I thought it was pretty nice in Pennsylvania. But, I guess that's a very comparative thing to say, I thought it was nice, but I haven't been on the rest of the Appalachian Trail, so who knows? Maybe the rest of the Appalachian Trail is breathtaking. But anyways, so yeah, they talk about that. They also talk about Mount Washington, the parts in New England, the part that goes through the Shenandoah Valley, Great Smoky Mountains. So yeah, I didn't like the fact that Bill Bryson, he didn't through hike the whole thing. But with that being said, the book is very well written. Bill Bryson is a very good author. He has a great way of using adjectives. It can be a little melodramatic at times. You know, he keeps saying, like, walking the Appalachian Trail was the hardest thing he did in his life. You know, not to underscore it being a great accomplishment, but, you know, there's a lot of melodrama. There's a picture of Bill Bryson. He lived in England for a little bit. But anyways, side tangent. So, yeah, I think the thing that I liked most about the book was how it was written. It did talk a lot about him hiking the trail, also about the trail itself and some of the history. You know, those three aspects of describing the Appalachian Trail was pretty nice. You know, the first-person view, the history, and the actual trail itself. It's probably not the type of book you'd want to read if you were boning up on hiking the Appalachian Trail and you want some information, unless from mainly like an entertainment, for the entertainment value of it. First off, you know, it's not very technical, and it was written in the late 90s. But, yeah, overall, it was a good book, well written. And my biggest complaint was it'd be nice if they talked more about the trail itself, like things that he saw when he was on the trail, different, no pun intended, high points on the trail, and the low points. And, you know, it'd also be nice if he thru-hiked it. That way you could get a comprehensive perspective on it. But, yep, not to reiterate myself, but it was a pretty good book, and I recommend it.